So guys, today I'm going to discuss about the heart failure. And basically in ICU the heart failure is basically most common things nowadays. Heart failure is basically a most common thing in ICU. So basically we will discuss about the heart failure, and mainly we will discuss about the acute heart failure in ICU. Fine. Then basically guys, I'm not going to write anything here. Basically what I did, basically I make a notes on this topic, because I think this is very important topic. So I make about 7 to 8 page notes. So I will discuss with you these all page I will discuss with you. So basically guys, in these 8 pages I basically point out that thing which I think that is most important. Then guys, let's discuss about these things. So first guys, what is the basically the heart failure? So basically the heart failure means, heart failure doesn't mean your heart is not working. That doesn't mean. Heart failure basically means the heart is not enough working. Heart is not enough working. What is the function of heart? Basically it contract and push the blood towards the body, to all over the body and toward the body. But in basically in a heart failure, the heart muscle loses its contractility, so the stroke volume get decrease and body get hypoperfused because of the insufficiency of the contraction from the heart. Then guys, basically heart failure basically originate from the myocardium, endocardium, pericardium. It can be originate from the any of these, or from the great vessel. So guys, what is the cause? Let's discuss about the cause of this heart failure. So basically the cause of the heart failure is like atrial fibrillation. What is the atrial fibrillation? That means there is a some foci which supply the current fast, passes the electricity. So basically this is the fault foci which passes the electricity in the heart. So basically first is atrial fibrillation, second one is heart block, complete heart block. Third most common cause is coronary artery disease with ventricular hypertrophy. And fifth is cardiac tamponade. What is cardiac tamponade? Cardiac tamponade means there is a something pressure which heart feels. There is something pressure which heart feels. Is basically like this is my heart, and from this direction heart feels the pressure. It press the heart. These forces press the heart. That is a cardiac tamponade. Maybe it can be due to pericarditis. Basically due to pericarditis, what happen? The basically fluid compresses the heart, or it may be due to some pneumothorax. Basically what pneumothorax does is basically compresses the heart. Basically this is the cardiac tamponade. And other cause is basically mitral valve disease, aortic valve disease, severe hypotension with aortic dissection. Basically dissection of aortic means tear in a aorta. Then guys, basically then we will see about the progressive stage of heart failure. Progressive stage of heart failure means how this heart failure goes on. So in stage 1, the earliest sign of ventricular dysfunction is increase in cardiac filling. The increase in cardiac filling means that is increasing pulmonary artery wedge pressure, and the stroke volume is maintained, but expense of elevated filling pressure produce venous congestion. Okay. Then guys, basically there is a venous congestion. So stage 1, basically what happened in stage 1, there is a increase in cardiac filling, basically that mean pulmonary artery VH pressure increases, but here in stage 1 stroke volume get maintained, but at the expense of elevated filling pressure produce congestion in that area. So that's why person face dyspnea, orthopnea, basically that face orthopnea. Then guys, in second stage stroke volume decreases, heart rate increases, and cardiac output normal. In the second stage, in first what was in first stage, there was a normal stroke volume, but basically there was a congestion. In second stage stroke volume get decreases, heart rate get increases, and cardiac output basically get normal, is normal. And in third stage basically there is a decrease in cardiac output. Basically in first and second stage the cardiac output was normal, but in the third stage the cardiac output get decreases. Means basically these two are decompensated heart failure, in the sense heart compensate and supply blood to the body, but in this third stage heart unable to compensate cell, basically heart get decompensated. So basically this is decompensated heart failure. So basically guys, now I'm going to discuss about the neurohormonal response. Basically in this neurohormonal response, BNP and pro BNP get increases. Basically it occur due to pressure created in the wall of atria and the ventricle. So basically it secrete, and basically this is the basically indicator of heart failure, and also this help in a compensation mechanism of the heart. Basically what it does, basically it increase the sodium excretion from the body and cause vasodilation. Basically when the sodium loss from the urine, the body blood fluid get decreased, so the heart gets less blood. Means basically I want to talk about this preload get decreases, and again basically it cause vasodilation also. So the heart preload also get decreased, and the afterload also get decreased, so the cardiac output get normal, and heart suffer from the less pressure, less stress due to this BNP. And then guys next one is basically a sympathetic nervous system. What does this sympathetic nervous system does? Basically sympathetic nerve does it basically sense by the when decrease in stroke volume. When the stroke volume get decreases, the baroreceptor in the carotid artery and pulmonary artery basically get activate, and it activate the sympathetic nervous system. Due to this in early stage of the heart failure, it give the inotropic and chronotropic effect. So the peripheral vasoconstriction and activation of RAS occur, and the activation of the RAS occur. So basically that is what sympathetic nervous system do. Basically when the stroke volume get decreases, so the baroreceptor in carotid artery and the pulmonary artery get activated, and it activate the sympathetic nervous system, which occur in the earliest stage of the heart failure, that give the positive inotropic effect and chronotropic effect. Due to this, heart get contracted, and the other mechanism guys, RAS also get activated in this. RAS basically due to RAS, the renin-angiotensin aldosterone system, there is a angiotensin 2, which basically what it does, basically it contract the blood vessel, so the BP become the normal, but it cause the sodium and water retention because of the aldosterone. It cause sodium and water retention, and it also first it maintain the BP by vasoconstriction. Second, basically it overload the fluid by the sodium and water retention. So basically this is the like a complex mechanism, complex mechanism, because in previous we discussed about how sorry for the sound, outside sound. So basically in previous what we see, the BNP and pro BNP, basically it cause vasodilatation, and but in the RAS basically cause vasoconstriction. So basically these all type of the mechanism, all type of complex mechanism causes the heart to compensate from these stressful condition. And now guys we will discuss about systolic and diastolic heart failure. Systolic means contraction failure due to systole, and diastolic means ventricle decrease in ventricle distensibility, means there is a diastolic dysfunction, and in systole systole there is a systolic dysfunction. During systole the heart basically get affected. Common cause of diastolic heart failure, the most common heart failure is a diastolic heart failure. Basically in if there is a 10%, though basically 6% out of that 10% of that heart failure, 6 get diastolic heart failure, I mean. And common cause of diastolic heart failure is ventricle hypertrophy, myocardial ischemia, fibrotic cardiomyopathy, pericardium tamponade. These are the basically common cause of diastolic heart failure. And also positive pressure ventilation and PEEP also cause the ventricle dysfunction. And then guys in the heart failure also we know that the ejection fraction get decreases. What is the ejection fraction? Basically ejection fraction equal to stroke volume upon end diastolic volume. So basically ejection fraction less than 45 indicate the heart failure, Basically systolic dysfunction is called heart failure with reduced ejection fraction, and diastolic function is called the heart failure with normal ejection fraction. And again guys I'm going to discuss about the right heart failure, difficult to detect in early cases. The right heart failure is very difficult to detect in early cases. More cases result of pulmonary hypotension. Why this right heart failure occurs? Because of the pulmonary hypertension. It may be due to pulmonary embolism, or it may be due to chronic lung disease. So basically in right heart failure the cardiac filling get increases, and basically the CVP get increases. So basically so guys in next video I will discuss about the management part, basically and also I'm going to discuss about I want to discuss about the ECG. If the patient get left ventricle hypertrophy, so what will ECG show in left ventricle hypertrophy? Basically it show AVL positive, AVR positive, and lead 1 positive, and lead 2, lead 3 and AVF get negative in negative direction. And in right heart failure guys, lead 1 get negative, AVL, AVR get negative, lead 2 mild positive, and lead 3 so positive, high positive deflection, and AVF positive. So basically these indicate right ventricle hypertrophy, left ventricle hypertrophy. And if guys there, and when we what is the criteria of the right heart failure? If the CVP greater than 10 mmHg or the CVP equal to pulmonary artery wedge pressure, basically these are the criteria for the right heart failure. Basically why we not sense right heart failure earlier? Because the delay in CVP may undetected for some time due to pericardial constant effect. Basically what is this what is this pericardial constant effect? So basically I'm going to let me discuss this very important. What is pericardial constant? There is a pericardium. Basically these pericardium cause pressure in the heart, so the blood get ejected. So blood get ejected, basically it compensates. So basically it maintain the right ventricle and diastolic volume. So basically due to this pericardium pressure, we not see the CVP rise in earlier stage of the right heart failure. So guys, in next video I will discuss about the management of the heart failure, and that will be the very important topic. So in next video I will discuss about that topic.